Welcome to the Forging Podcast, where our mission is to forge guys into godly husbands, fathers, men, and leaders in their communities. We push out of our comfort zone, face our fears, and grow stronger every day. We strive to be selfless providers, dangerous protectors, loving husbands, fathers, and friends. I hope you all enjoy the podcast. Thank you guys for joining us on the Forging Podcast. This is our pilot episode, our very first one. So I hope y'all bear with us as we learn how to navigate this whole ordeal, because this is new to me. Definitely new to Brett.
New to me too.
And Blake. So I'm here with Brett and Blake, by the way, and I'm Jared.
And I'm Blake.
I'm Brett.
And so our mission's just to, reach men to get out of their comfort zones, quit being lazy, start stepping up, and seeking God the way that we're called to, and step up on our households as husbands. Instead of being dictators in our house, let's be leaders. And leaders doesn't mean we're always controlling every single thing that goes on. We have a partner that God gave us, if we're married, to work together with, and also start stepping up and being more present for our children, which is something that I struggled with a long time. Was never neglectful, but I worked so much that they got neglected in some ways. So let's step up, be godly husbands, fathers, and also our communities are lacking in men that are led by God, led by the Holy Spirit. And we wonder why all this junk's happening through our country, but how many godly men are in leadership roles? How many men are truly seeking God? Don't just say that they're godly, but truly are seeking God and truly seeking to be led by the Holy Spirit in all the decisions that they make. We ain't got many, which is why our country's a disaster. So let's start stepping up and let's make change for good. Let's bring this country back to God. So that's my mission with this whole thing. And I started a men's group with Brett, and we're seeking to reach our community and the people around us. We just live in small towns. But if we can affect these small towns for God, it'll just grow from there like a wildfire. So that's my 2 cents. You guys, you got any input? What's your mission on this, Brett? What's the Lord been leading you with this whole endeavor? I know I've been kind of pushing, but
Well, the main thing that I would like to see for men to start doing is to, be bold. We're our responsibility given by God is to lead our families, like you were saying. And how many of us are actually doing that? How many of us are praying with our kids or not? How many even pray publicly? Pray out loud and are bold about their faith, even in their own household.
yeah.
My guess is probably not too many. I can do better, as same as everybody else can. We can always do better. I am trying.
Yeah.
But we, as men, you talked about the problems in our country. I would guess that most of the problems in our country is due to turning our backs on God, for one, and the other is men are passive. We're not leading. We have dissolved our responsibilities down to making money. And that's basically it. We, if we're making a bunch of money, we just come home, sit on the couch. We think our job is done.
Yeah.
It's not, and we are to lead our family, make sure our wives are thriving, and our kids too, and teach them to be bold and get rid of fear. When you're a kid, fear is a very strong, it's always very strong in anybody. is something you always have to deal with just because you've faced your fears once and conquered them or pushed past them or become successful in spite of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to do it again. It's something you always have to deal with.
Sure.
And it gets easier the more you force yourself to deal with it. But if you're truly afraid of something, it's never easy. You know, yeah. Panic wants to set in and different things. I think I'm rambling a little bit, but
you're right.
The main thing I would like men to do is to be bold, step up, start leading, and be sacrificial. That's what good leaders do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not all about getting what you want all the time. That's actually, you could make the case that it would be the opposite. What you want comes last. What is best for the family comes first, or the church, or whatever position you're in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We've lost that. I think we've lost the skill and what it means to be a leader.
Man, yeah, absolutely. Blake, you got any insight on all this?
No, not really.
No, this has been a little work in progress. Probably 6-8 months ago, something like that. I just started really feeling a push to start stepping up and doing my part more. Getting in the Word, really seeking God. I mean, I was raised in church, but I don't think I ever put a lot of effort into building my relationship with God. And it showed throughout my life. Different decisions I made, different things that I did, behaviors I portrayed, and then brought those ill behaviors into my marriage and everything else too, really. And I just feel like it's time to step up and do more as a husband and as a father. And also with seeing how things have been going on in some of our communities lately with just stupid stuff because of poor leadership. Maybe it's time we start stepping up and making a voice in the community too, to push these leaders to start stepping up and doing what's right and what they should be doing. And if not, replace them with people that are going to do it. And, the mission me and Brett started with the men's group was to kind of build masculinity back into men, I guess you would say. Like, we meet and it's been cold. We're finally getting out of the cold, so it's going to be fun. But we met around the campfire and just sitting there drinking pine needle tea. I never had that until I got to come hang out with Brett. That was pretty cool. And coffee, and sit around and just talk about God and what's been on our hearts, maybe what we've been reading, studying, learning about in church, whatever may be going on, having a discussion. And then afterwards, man, we get to go shoot guns or throw knives or do some kind of a masculine skill building just to have fun, because too many times we take church as this boring, soft, I guess I ain't got no better adjectives for it, but we just want to bring masculinity back and make it fun. And, God wasn't some boring dude, or should say Jesus, when he was walking the earth, wasn't some boring dude. He was a man, and he did man stuff, and he dealt with people when he had to, but we just want to kind of get men excited about God again, bring men together.
Well, everything's been feminized.
Yeah.
And there's a place for femininity,
Femininity.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely, there's a place for that. But, as far as we're talking about church right now, and I don't know if you want to do the introduction to each one of us like you were saying before, but if you can get the dad, the man, into church and to make that step of faith, you get the whole family.
Yeah.
And I heard some guy say a while back, it may have been that conference we went to, that we always want to focus on the kids, or usually the kids,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the youth group or the little kids or whatever. And that's all great. We need to do things for them. But if you can get the dad to make that step and to be bold, the whole family will thrive.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think we've missed. We brush over Ephesians where it talks about marriage because it's uncomfortable, you know, of the wives are to submit. You know, they hear that as being a doormat and doing whatever we say or whatever.
Yeah.
But you go back to what it says for the men to do. It says, love your wives as Christ loved the church, I think.
Yeah.
I need my Bible with me.
Yep.
But well, if you want to unpack that, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And the responsibility that is placed on us is incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the family tends to flourish when the man actually steps up, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And if we're doing it right, like I said a minute ago, we won't be just getting everything we want. And say, submit, wife, while I, you know, get on them pots and pans while I watch the football, or while I go hunting, or whatever it may be. You know, it's a sacrificial love that we have. You know, Jesus gave everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. He took on the established order boldly, and he got killed for it.
Yeah.
And in that, he saved us all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, don't get more sacrificial than that.
right, yeah. And you know, we have problems sacrificing this or that, whatever it may be. You know, a hunt, a ball game, a fishing trip, whatever it may be. We can't sacrifice that for our family a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
we'll put all of our effort into learning the stats of a football game, baseball game, you know, learning our hunt plots, you know, doing all that work. We'll put effort into all these things.
Yeah.
But my wife will be all right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and I'm just as guilty. And I care less about sports, but hunting, I love hunting. I'm not some major deer slayer, but I love it. Like, I love the challenge.
A for effort.
A for effort. There you go. But like, I'll put more effort into all of my passions, guns, hunting, whatever. But I tend to be tired and not really care about working on the things that matter in the house, like my marriage. My wife has a problem, it'd be all right.
Yeah, or if she's coming under some kind of attack, or you know, even, you know, catty other women, you know,
yeah.
even if that's happening, sometimes, you know, just step in between. It's not all, you know, like we were talking about a while back. It's not all about just dying for them in a gunfight or protection like the movies or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's every day. You do step in between what's coming on your wife, and you take that. That's your job, to protect and provide, and, you know.
And to be emotional support.
Yeah.
That one's hard for me.
Yeah, listen.
You know, right now, my wife's husband, her father, he's got stage 4 lung cancer that's metastasized to his body. he's going downhill quick.
Yeah, it's awful.
And she's struggling.
Yeah.
And I'm fixing to fly her to Florida to go spend time with him because we don't know how much longer he'll be.
Yeah.
Can't get a straight answer out of the mom. Can't get a straight answer out of the sister. The mom under exaggerates and the sister over exaggerates. So we're kind of playing right down the middle with it.
Yeah.
But we don't know because we ain't there. And it bugs me because as far as we knew, everything was fine when we moved up here 5 years ago. He comes to play with my kids one Christmas up here. They got my kids a trampoline, so they came up and were playing. And he's always played with the kids and loved on my kids. Great grandpa. And he was jumping on the trampoline and his back got hurt somehow. So when they went back to Florida, he got a scan to find out he had stage 4 cancer.
Man.
So it's like I moved my whole family up here. You know, my side of the family, my dad, my mom, stepmom, my stepdad, when he was still alive, they all moved up. So I had my whole crew. Her whole crew was still in Florida. She was close to her mom.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just hard. You know, I feel bad like I took them away. I mean, we didn't know. If I'd have known he was sick, we probably would have just stayed the course. But kind of selfishly, I was chasing coming up here, getting away from there. And she wasn't really about it, but she was following me because I was the leader. Now that we've been here for 5 years and been established some, and she's made good friends and met your wife and started with the co-op and just had opportunities to meet people, like her whole outlook on living here has changed and she loves it and she wouldn't move back. But it's like in this time,
it's still hard to
it's
do.
Hard. Yeah. It's hard. And I feel bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to talk to her because I've never done good with death. Like my stepdad died 2 years ago, last November, 2 years ago from then. And I cried some, but I don't know how to deal with death. Like it just, for the most part, I don't want to say it doesn't faze me, but everybody that's died in my life that I had connection to, I guess it didn't affect me. I don't know. Like, I'm just like, okay, they're gone. I've got a life to live. And my stepdad was probably the hardest one. But I got through it good. It's not like I wept forever. I just had a moment here and there that it's like, man, remember the memories that we had with him.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know when it's time for her dad to go, it's going to be hard for everybody.
And it may not. Say, my wife went through that. Her dad had lung cancer, and he died. Oh, I can't remember how many years it is now, but she's the type that wants to bottle it all up,
okay,
and just shove it down deep, act like it ain't there. Well, that tends to fester, and eventually it will come out.
Yeah.
And so maybe Autumn won't do that, and if she does, there's not really a whole lot you can do besides listen, be there for her, love on her.
Yeah.
That's really, as far as advice for me to give you, I can't really give you anything because I don't know what else to tell you, but just do that. Just be there, listen, love on her. Pray with her.
Yeah.
Reminder, is he a believer?
He is.
So if he's a believer, we've got that hope, that it's not forever.
Yeah.
It's only temporary.
Yeah.
But it is hard. And I've never lost anybody. The closest people I've lost to me is my grandparents. And, when you get to a certain age, you're kind of prepared for that, you know that that's going to happen. I know a guy right now who lost his daddy, and he is in deep depression, and it's awful. So,
and I think that's one thing that would get me is, my dad's 80, and he's still like a young buck, but at some point, but I love my dad like he's one of my best friends. So
it's coming for all of us.
It is, but, yeah. But I know where he's going. So I know when it comes that time, he's going to be happy.
Right.
You know, he's going to be, don't cry for me. Don't
Yeah.
like, why are you stressed? Like I'm hanging out with Jesus now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's going to be my dad's attitude. And I know that we'll be able to celebrate because he's going to be excited. And, you know, he's living a healthy life. Like he don't even take prescription medication at 80. Like he goes to the doctor. They're like, seriously, you don't have anything? He's like, no. But I think he's healthy because he didn't start taking stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not the kind of people that always go to doctors. I do my best to stay away. I mean, I think I have to be in a bad situation before I go see a doctor. Like, I don't get checkups, nothing. Like, if my body ain't right, I'm going to know. And I'll do some things to fix it. And if it don't fix it, then maybe we'll entertain a doctor. Or I'll die out in the woods living my life. You know what I mean? But
What about
yeah.
a dentist? Everybody loves dentists.
Nope. I need to go see a dentist because I know I got some cavities that probably need to get dealt with. But, you know, I might just let my teeth fall out and I'll be a toothless hillbilly, you know?
I
Whatever.
had a jacked up mouth as a kid.
Did you?
I had 4 teeth pulled in one trip.
Yeah.
If I go to a dentist, I'm in some bad shape.
Yeah. I hear you. I had issues with my wisdom teeth years ago, and they were bothering me, and so I was getting it set up to go see the dentist and get them pulled, and that issue was like some pain issue or something. I forget exactly what it was, but it went away, and so did that appointment.
Yeah.
I still got my wisdom teeth
Yeah.
at 30. Shoot, I'll be 39. What, next week?
Yeah, I didn't get the happy gas that my kids get.
Yeah.
You know, I went to the adult dentist who sticks the needle in your gums. It's,
Dude.
seems like it's, you know, as big around as one of them cattle needles.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. So, yeah.
So you want to do introductions, or what do you want?
You want to give a little piece of your history?
What do you want me to tell them?
Just whatever you feel called to tell people. Like, if you got a quick little story or not. I mean, I feel like I told enough about myself.
Well,
I mean, really, your mission maybe for this, which you gave, and if you want to give a little bit of your background to kind of say what got you here or whatever.
so I've lived here pretty much all my life, and I don't know if we're saying where here is, but
I mean, I live in Ewan.
I was we moved here when I was 5. We used to live in Florence, and we moved here when I was 5. I've been here ever since. We've been farming since I was 5. My daddy came down here and built a chicken farm and sold it, and then I built mine. We got into baseball at a pretty young age. Me and my brother both were big sports, you know. Played football. I've never cared much for basketball. We played football and baseball. Had some success with it, and my brother and them won a state championship. My bunch was runner up for 2 years. He played 4 years college ball, and I played a little bit. And then you just kind of get lost after that, because after it's over, you don't know what to do with yourself. And got into four-wheeling and softball. Did things that, you know, most young men do that I'm not proud of. And, and then when we had our daughter, me and my wife got married. We were high school sweethearts. We got married in 2010. I was still immature, hadn't, you know, not walking with Jesus like I should be. We went to church and did all those things. So hear me when I say, if you're just going to church and doing all the things,
The routines.
if that's all you're doing, you're missing it.
Yeah.
But anyway, had my daughter, and everything was pretty smooth, and then we couldn't get pregnant, and we ended up doing the fertility stuff. Had twins. They wasn't supposed to make it, especially one of them. They gave him less than 1% chance.
Wow.
They stayed, and around about this same time is when I'm starting to actually read my Bible, and I'm starting to pursue a relationship with Jesus. And, this just crushes me. She ended up having them after a very stressful pregnancy. They stayed in the NICU for 7 months. They were 1 pound when they were born. They wasn't supposed to make it. And, we get through that, and at some point in there, I lost a house of chickens, and that was a big, devastating thing. And, God can use bad things, and you can see this in Job and all over the Bible, where he will use terrible things, and even the devil. Even what he does, God can turn it for good if we do what we're called to do, what we're supposed to do. And that's kind of what happened to us. And we've had other things that's happened. We've had a lot of challenges in our marriage, and we've just got stronger and stronger and stronger to where we are now, which I think me and Hurst talked about it probably in the last 3 to 5 years, something like that. We're just now starting to live out a biblical family, and we can always do better.
Yeah.
But we're just now starting to do that, and it's just, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you have not experienced this, you're missing out, because it is awesome. When you walk hand in hand with Jesus and you take your family with you, you don't have to be afraid of anything. Terrible things can happen, and you're going to be just fine. And lost my train of thought there. We ended up having another set of twins. We had 2 sets of twins. I've got 5 kids, and my kids don't have any interest in sports, so I've closed that chapter in my life. And, it may reopen again if my kids change their mind or whatever. But right now, my mission, my purpose is to follow Jesus, number one, pursue my wife, and love her the best that I can, and raise my kids to be good, godly adults, and to be confident and bold in their faith and their life, and they're all parts of their life.
Yeah.
That's, in a nutshell, my story.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I live in Gewen, Alabama now. Moved up here 5 years ago to Hamilton. And what a journey that's been. And I'm originally from Florida, South Florida, Sarasota. And I had a good business. We had a good home remodel business, painting, remodel. We just did a little bit of everything. And it was thriving. We were working, mainly Sarasota, Bradenton, Venice, but we did work in North Florida, South Florida, all over. Especially when I got connected with some guys with some mobile park communities that, all their concrete buildings, they wanted updated or painted, whatever, and then they got bought out, and we would redo it all. I mean, did a lot of that stuff. So, but one thing I found was my life was being consumed by work. And it's hard to be home with your family when you're 6 hours away working in a whole nother town, or 4 hours away, whatever. Well, not 6 hours, sorry. I'd be in another state by then, but it was 3 to 4 hours away a lot of times, some of my jobs. And, you'd stay for a week, come home, and depending on if you got everything done that week, we'd put in some OT just to make sure we get done and get back home. But I found that as my business was thriving, I'd hire people, And with hiring people, I took on more work, which took on more responsibility. And my outlet was going to truck. I started a truck club, doing truck club stuff. Trying to find time to hang out with my buddies and work on an old car here or there, fiddle around. And occasionally I go hunting. Of course, that's a sore subject too, because I remember hunting a couple different years where my wife was pregnant, almost having babies, or had the babies and was nursing. And I'm like, I'll see you Sunday night. I'd go on the weekends and go hunting because we were buggy hunting in management areas that were only open for a specific amount of time. And I neglected my wife. I should have been there helping her. And I was hunting, having a good time, drinking with my buddies and hanging out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like my life was all bad. It wasn't like a horrible husband. I just wasn't as supportive as I should have been, I guess.
Yeah.
And took some of my frustration from past relationships and growing up too, that kind of carried into my marriage and struggled with insecurities and stuff that led me to be a jerk. Stupid jerk. But it was kind of, I was always in church. I shouldn't say always in church. I was raised in church, and I had a period of time in my life before I got married, chasing other girls and being stupid. And I didn't really go to church. I did a little bit, but I was never committed. Like, I was there doing the routine stuff because I was raised doing it. So let's do the routine thing.
Yeah. Religion.
Yeah. And so me and my wife got together after we got together and we got married in 2010, August of 2010. And we were together almost a year, I think, or around a year before that. And that was 2009. So 2008 is when I had a motorcycle accident because of my stupidity that really said, look, man, you need to change your behaviors. I was drinking a lot, acting stupid. And that's how I dealt with my anger and frustrations from the crazy women I was with and growing up, some of the stuff that I dealt with. And now I've known my wife since she was, I want to say 9, friends with her brother. Through that, I've met some other people that now I consider brothers. And that's when I really cut back on the drinking. I mean, I'll have maybe a glass of whiskey or a beer here or there, but I can't say I was addicted to it because when I stopped, because there would be times I'd go weeks on end without drinking because I just didn't care. For me, it was just dealing with problems. When I had problems, that's when I would drink.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of problems. But, never really carried a drinking problem into my marriage or family. I can't say that we ever had a fight or argument because I was drinking. There's nothing ever like that. Usually I got stupid and goofy. It was just me being a jerk. And so, getting over the motorcycle accident, autumn kind of shined through at that time. And it was just something hit me. I was like, that's the one I need to get with. Like, Autumn was an innocent, like, sweet, loving, caring person. Everybody else I was with was not those things. And it was like, I gotta start seeking godly women. She was going to church. She loved God. She was seeking God. I went to church, not the same church, but I went to church and I loved God, but I didn't do my best to build some relationship and get into the, I guess you would say, more softer, sissy feeling stuff. That's really not soft and sissy, but it came off that way when I was this tough dude, thinking I was tough. But when we started having kids, when we first got together, we did talk about having 6 kids. Now we got 6, and after the first one, it was this is pretty tough. We might stick with one.
The first one's a shock.
And then we had another one. And then another one. And then we got hit with twins. That's, twins is a whole nother world, man.
My gosh,
that's a whole nother thing. But then we finally had our last one, Remy. And man, we are so blessed. And, we wanted the kids, had them, and I was there. I mean, I tried to be there. I tried to include them and stuff, but I wasn't, growing up, my dad was all business. Like, he did take me to a ball game a couple times. He did take me camping or fishing with Royal Rangers when we were in Royal Rangers. But what I do with my kids now is so different than what my dad did. And I'm not knocking my dad. I know he had to do what he had to do so we could survive and we could make it. So I don't blame him. But looking back, I wish I had more fun time with my father. Less business. I mean, he would take me to work and he put me to work. Like, everything he did, I know it was because he cared and he loved us. So I don't say he neglected us. None of that. I love my dad. I've been working with my dad now for 20 years. Like, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, when he got hurt recently, well, it's been, a year ago now. It seems recently because it's taken so long to recover, but he had his leg broke. Like, I'm like, man, my dad's down,
Yeah.
Like, how do I make it? But, now I'm doing my best to try to put more effort into being there with my kids and having adventures and having fun. And it doesn't always have to be work. It doesn't always, you got to work and make money, pay the bills, make things happen. But I was always wanting to be big money. I was always wanting to have everything, have all the money, have all the nice trucks, car, whatever. Just wanted to have it all. And now it's like I live in a fixer-upper that needs God itself, but I don't owe a dime on my house. And, I don't have to make the same kind of money I had to survive down there. And I can spend more time with my kids. We go kayaking. Go out with people doing different stuff. And we got to do stuff with our friends down there. But I just feel like I have more quality time now with my kids. It's not like we didn't ever do anything because I was always working, but it felt that way in some sense. So, we move up here, and that was a battle because I pulled her away from her family to a town where there's nothing. And that's okay with me because I don't need a lot. We went from Sarasota that literally every street corner had something to do. And it didn't matter Sunday through the following, it never shut down. It was always up and running. Here, Sundays, everything's closed except for a fast food joint, which you have more fast food in Baptist churches than people in these towns, I've noticed. But, so it took some getting used to, and finding a new church was hard for us because we weren't raised Baptist, so we didn't go to Baptist church. We didn't go to Church of Christ like we were looking for. I was always in an Assemblies of God church, though. Now I just wish we had churches that didn't have to have some name, that were just fully led by Christ. The minister was fully led by the Holy Spirit and didn't care about names and labels and following traditions. Let's just follow what God has to say and leave it at that.
We're kind of getting off the introduction.
So I'm off the introduction.
I want to cover that at some point.
Okay.
And maybe not on this, but you know, because that's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, for years now, is that the denomination thing.
Yeah. I think that would be a good podcast.
I don't know if y'all want to get in on that.
I think it'd be a good podcast in the future to go, let's hit it hard.
Yeah.
Let's do a podcast fully on that. That'd be good. I think my nickname should be the Rambler because I'll just go on a tangent and it just all over the place. So bear with me on that because that's who I am. But either way, we moved here.
Blake, I don't even know if I know your story. Blake's younger.
Blake, come on. What's that?
He's younger, right?
Oh yeah, he's that young
I'm
generation.
28.
28.
He's a young buck.
My story.
You're the problem then, right?
Yeah. He's the problem we're trying to solve.
Yeah.
This is
That's
me.
what we're trying to fix.
Yes.
It's me. Hi.
Yes.
I'm the problem. It's me. Now, my story. Let's see. I am originally from South Georgia, around Swainsboro, Dublin area. Let's see.
What brought you here, Blake?
Well, I got saved in 2014, in the 11th grade, and a gentleman that went to my church, he said he knew of a youth group coming to a small town in northwest Alabama. He said he thought that I would like to attend, so I did. I came to Hamilton, I think it was in maybe March of 2014, and I went to a RAMP conference in Hamilton, and I felt like the Lord was telling me to move to Hamilton to go to the ministry school there, so I did. I moved to Hamilton in May of 2015. I attended 2 years of RSM, the School of Ministry, majored in worship. Then I graduated in 2017, started, working, and I met my wife. She was a first year while I was a second year. And I graduated, and I knew of her. We went on a few ministry trips together, playing for worship teams that would go to like Tennessee and stuff like that. I invited her to a trip in Missouri to lead worship at a church in Missouri. And we kind of hit it off there, started becoming friends, and then I think it was December of 2017 that we actually started dating. And then we got pregnant with my daughter Eloise. We found out September 2018. Got married October 2018. I had honestly stopped going to church after I graduated just because I got a little, I wouldn't say offended, but I was just really not happy and pleased with the way that, I don't know, I guess, I don't know. I was in a funk is what it was. So I'd stopped going to church, and I was working in a trailer plant, just dealing with rough cats every day. I guess I kind of fell away a little bit. I didn't fall away. I just, I read and I prayed to God, but I just wasn't seeking the relationship as much as I was, prior years. And so, I guess my flesh got in the way, and that's, fell into a little bit of sin. That's when we got pregnant with my daughter Eloise.
No.
And yeah. And, there was a lot of shame that came with that too, because it's I moved, 6.5 hours away, and here I am supposed to be an example, because I'm one of the few in my family that, I'm actually I was one of the first of, me and my cousins and stuff to really chase after God. And I kind of felt like they were maybe looking up to me, and I felt like I just let everyone down. And so I dealt with a lot of shame with that for a while, and that sent me on a whole different spiral. But I'm good now, guys. I'm good.
Yeah,
so
you're a great dad, and you're a great worship. Part of the worship team.
Yeah, we back, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Eloise was born in May of 2019. We moved to. We live in Ewan. We attend Encounter Church, and then September of 21, we had a stillborn daughter. Her name was Iva, and I ain't gonna lie, I started hitting the bottle a little bit after that one. I mean, I didn't blame God. It was more of just man, I can't believe after everything that I've been through, this would happen to me. I just got real bummed out, and I mean, of course, you're gonna feel a little something when you get to hold your child lifeless, and you can't really do anything.
Can't imagine.
I can't either. That's terrible.
Yeah. but I never blamed God. I always, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that I didn't let it get me down, because I was definitely down, but which I didn't like hard drink. I just get home.
Knock the edge off.
Medicating.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get like plastered. I just,
Yeah.
You're totally trashed, falling all over the front yard naked.
That's right. Who's that guy running down the road again? Oh, that's Blake.
No, man, like, we have 6 kids, but our very first was a miscarry, and it was only like 8 weeks in.
Yeah, way out of miscarriage.
I kind of questioned God
She
a
was-
little bit.
yeah,
So
she was- She was supposed to be induced the next week, but she said something's not right. So we called her friend over. She had like one of those little home little things you put on the stomach and you could hear the heartbeat.
Ultrasound.
ultrasound
yeah,
machine.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. And she wasn't hearing anything, so we went to the doctor and they hooked her up to like the machine, did a little scan or whatever, and there was just like no blood flow going to the baby anymore. Nothing we could have done, but yeah, it's just wild that we were supposed to go like the next week to get induced, and I don't know. But yeah, we keep on keeping on. We still love God. We don't. I'm not one of the type that's just gonna blame God for stuff like that happening, because I know, like you were talking about Brett earlier. He causes. The Bible says He causes everything to work together for the good of those who love Him. I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, we've been doing good. Going to church, playing on the worship team, and then I started working with Jared, and he just started.
Everything went downhill.
I can't
ever
stand
since.
this guy. Started working with him, and he was just started telling me his desires of starting a podcast. And me, I'm a techie guy. I got all kind of gadgets and gizmos. So I was like, dude, if you want to start a podcast, I've got literally almost everything you need to get started. So my being here is to help Jared with his vision, and you guys' vision for this podcast. I'm here to help, and so yeah, that's me.
But there's something else I want to say. Like, after they lost their baby, it was, you guys were out of church for what, a couple of weeks, just kind of, or was it a week or something? Just kind of like regrouping.
Those next 2 weeks, so we're just we were super busy. Like
when they came back,
planning.
His wife is one of the worship leaders, and dude, she was on that stage worshiping God and giving Him the glory.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could have done that.
Feed truck.
I don't know that I could have done that after I feel like our miscarriage was so nothing compared to that. And I know, like, our babies are in heaven, living a good life.
Yeah.
Like, but it was hard.
Yeah.
And to see his wife get up there and worship God and give Him glory was huge. You want to talk about a testimony? That's huge.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I could have done it, and I wasn't the one losing anything. Like, so that was awesome. Like that spoke to me, because I'm like, man, I don't know how she can do that. And Blake, they lived their life, and like you said, there wasn't no blaming God. Nothing. It was, things happen. I mean, we were born into a world of sin and death.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's But I think we're gonna wrap this up for this go around. We're almost hitting 2 hours.
No. This
Golly,
is
really?
no. It's 49 minutes. We're
only 49 minutes in.
Yeah, it's only 49.
Shoot, we got another hour to go, guys. No, we wanted to keep
Slow
this
down,
short
sir.
and sweet. Kind of give
Little
you guys
intro.
an understanding of who we are. I could sit here for 3 hours telling who I am.
Yeah,
but
you really
it
could.
doesn't matter, because our mission here. Our mission,
kidding, no.
I'm the Rambler. I mean, come
You
on.
don't
I think that's got to
say,
be
eh?
my name, because
You're the
dude,
Rambling
I
Man.
can ramble.
We got
But
Rambling Man, Valley Man.
I tell you,
and
when I get
Blake.
with my friends, I just enjoy I enjoy the time I get to spend talking with the guys, and I mean, I'm surrounded by females. So
Yeah,
one, I can't
same.
help but talk a lot because that's what they do.
Wow.
But I need a little bit of testosterone around me too once in a while. But you know, we want to encourage everybody. Like,
Yes.
I'm on a spiritual journey. I hate the word journey, but it is what it is. I know it sounds cliche. I just want. I want.
It is what it is.
It is
That's
what it
the
is.
Stupidest thing.
It is what it is. I want to have my own term for it, but it's a
Right.
journey. It really is a journey. And since the Holy Spirit's really been pushing me, I've been reading books and reading the Word and getting closer to God. It's really changing so much.
Yeah.
And we want to inspire other men to do that, to seek God with everything they got.
Yeah.
Put the effort into seeking God that you put into sports, you put into hunting, fishing, you know, tearing around with your buddies. Put that same effort into seeking God. I promise you, you're going to see a difference in your family.
Yeah.
And you're going to look back and say, man, I was an idiot for not doing this sooner. Because I know I feel that way. I'm like, I knew God, I knew about him, I went to church, but I didn't take that time to like fully seek him with everything I got. And I still struggle with everything I got. I seek him, but I don't always give it 100%. But I'm getting there and I'm growing. And so this whole thing is to encourage people, because I'm not some spiritual hierarchy that knows everything, because I feel like I'm on a base level starting, and I'm just wanting to grow as much as I possibly can. And I've surrounded myself with godly men that are wanting to do the same thing. And that's what I think we need to do, is surround ourselves with other men that are thinking in a same concept, which will be a whole nother podcast, because I'll ramble on about that. But
another big talk is the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is going to be we're easygoing dudes. I mean, we live in the sticks of Alabama, Northwest Alabama. We love it. We love God. We love hunting. We love fishing. All those things. But number one, we love God, and we want to raise up our families the way God wants us to do it.
Yeah.
And so we just want to be encouragement to other men that it doesn't matter what you're going through or what you've been through, God can use you, because God used the disciples that weren't necessarily, in our eyes, would be the perfect image of somebody God would use, but he used them to change so much. And it's our calling to disciple people and grow and just be obedient to God. So that's our mission.
Sometimes those are the ones he uses the most.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
I never thought in a million years that I'd be.
There's always redemption.
Yeah.
You know, like Blake touched on. You know, he made this big mistake, and he's the guy that's not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And you know, people will want to write you off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
that's just
it's
nature.
It's not that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's we're going to sin, we're going to mess up, we're going to do stupid things, and
what matters is what we do after that.
yeah, and that says a lot about a man's character.
Yeah,
it's how he handles those mistakes.
Are we just going to say, "Oh well, we're good because we're saved by grace," or are we going to repent and we're going to seek change?
Right.
Ask God to help us with that area.
And as far as the punishment for that, the everlasting punishment, it's been dealt with.
Yeah. Yes. Through the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank God, man. Thank God for that good speech.
Appreciate you, Jesus.
Yeah. Thank you, friend.
I appreciate that. That's mighty kind of you.
So, we going to close this thing out, guys?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to listen to us. And I hope that as we've been inspired by other podcasters and other leaders, I hope we can inspire somebody to make the change for Christ. And we thank you for taking time to listen to us. We out.
All right. Stay golden, everybody.